Hello, everyone. Welcome to Next Level Humanity podcast. I have Ron here. Welcome, Ron.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
Another successful entrepreneur. I'm so excited for today because we will talk about OBVI. And yeah, so excited. I think that's the trend, especially for women.
It,
Collagen and
it
let's get
is.
thinner and let's burn fat and let's get younger. And
That's
as
right.
someone being a health enthusiast, I couldn't say it in English, and as someone who is trying to feed herself healthy and exercise every day, I'm personally very much interested in OBVI. So let's speak about the idea. Like how did you come up with the idea, and then how long did it take you to build the product? And because it's not a technological product, it's a real product,
Correct.
hands-on product. And I know it takes a lot of research and work, and I would love to hear the whole process from start.
No, it's a great question. My background has been I've been able to be in the supplement and health and wellness space for about 11 years now. I used to work at a supplement brand, and I like some of the things that brand did, but I also didn't love some of the things they did. And I told myself, one day I want to start my own brand. So 6 years ago, I set out to start OBVI. And my goal was that I wanted to create and build a very consumer-centric brand. And what I mean by that is a lot of brands and people who create brands and release products from it, they build it for what they believe is what people want. What I wanted to do was I wanted to ask exactly what people wanted and just build that. And so OBVI, it's actually short form for obvious, is we wanted to make products that were such an obvious choice because it's exactly what you asked for, right? So from day one, I said I want to build in health and wellness and female wellness because I believe there isn't too many
Yeah,
brands.
it's so obvious that it is female, like
It's
everything you build with the color and with the
Yep,
vibe, with
yep,
the energy, and that's what women need, especially women my age,
yep.
between I think the age of 30 to 50, 55, 60. It's just brilliant. I think it's a fabulous product.
Uh,
I'll leave it to you.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we've been building something where I believe my hypothesis and thesis of starting OBVI was if I create a brand that is fun to take, that looks like lovely with packaging, and that is has exciting tastes and flavors, then I believe women will put my product on their countertops and not hidden behind their cabinets. And health and wellness products that sit on countertops, they just are used more. It's something that people are proud of. So that's how we started this brand, and that was our hypothesis. From day one, I built a community. We have the largest collagen community in the world on a Facebook group. It's about 150,000 active women because I asked them exactly what they wanted. So every product is actually built with our customers. They've helped us with what they want in ingredients, what new products they want from us, period.
Wow.
And yeah,
That's such a big lesson, I think, for all entrepreneurs, founders who wanna nail it and
yeah.
succeed. It's like creating what people actually are asking for. And it's truly obvious that you did that as a woman who has been in the wellness sector for over 25 years. I can see that clearly. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And how long did it take you to, gather all that data and like because I think it took you some time to decide on which products to produce and
It did.
how long did
It
it
did.
take and how was the process like? Like how did
Yeah,
you gather all that data? How did you analyze?
100%. So I think for us, the biggest piece was we took about 9 months to just gather data, asking questions, combating questions, asking people on the street, asking friends and family, everyone we could ask. And from there, a lot of people wanted a lot of different things. And so then we realized we had to consolidate to what we believe is the most common and the common denominator, which was collagen. Everyone wanted to feel younger, they wanted to look younger, right? And then they wanted stuff that can be tasty, and they wanted something that was easy to use. So when you have to create like something like that, it takes time to build it. So we started with collagen, but we wanted to make collagen, a very, very complex formula. And so we are the only fortified collagen, vitamin C, vitamin E, iron, magnesium, calcium, biotin in the market. And it's because those are expensive ingredients and minerals, but we wanted to make sure we create the best product.
Yeah, and how are the results? So it took you probably a couple of months. You then produced the first product. How did you what are the results you're getting? How do you track the results?
Yeah. So results wise, initially our biggest goal was when someone buys once, will they come back and buy again? That was like our biggest cursor that we use.
Yeah.
Now from that point onwards, what was really, really important for us was if someone buys once, and when they buy again, are they buying the same product or are they buying something different that we have? So those were our initial cursors. Overall results wise, we've done a little north of 105 million in sales in these 6 years. We've grew mainly through digital, but now we're also in about 15,000 retail doors. So over the years, we've been able to prove out our hypothesis. I mean, we're still trying to prove it, but we've definitely been able to be successful in some of those key deliberations.
Yeah, and now you have a couple of products. You started with collagen.
That's right.
And then you now have a couple of products. Then after the first product, how did you decide on the next and the next, and how did that process look like?
The same way we did it day one is the same way we did it now. Is we put out a survey. We asked our customers, "What do you want to see next?" They said fat burner, so we went to work on a fat burner. After that, they said we want a greens powder and colostrum. We worked to work on that. So we have never come up with the product ourselves. Every single product has been released by our customers. So that I think it also helps with the success of the product, because if you create something someone says they want, you can go to them and say, "Hey, I made it, go buy it." Right? And you can almost expect them to buy it. So that's been helpful.
Yeah, and you probably do know, as well as I do, that having a community is one of the biggest powers.
Absolutely.
You can, especially in wellness and health. And I've been investing in my community for over 25 years, and having that trusted communities, I think that's great to have. It takes time, and it takes a lot of effort. So how are you managing you said you have a Facebook community. How are you managing the community? Do you have a community manager, or what's the strategy?
I never believed in community managers because I feel like they wouldn't be in touch as much. What I did was over the first year of business, what I did was I took the customers that I exported all my orders, and I took the customers that had spent the most amount of money with me. Okay, so the highest lifetime value. And I told them, I reached out to them and I said, "Hey guys, I want to give you free product for life in exchange for helping monitor and moderate my community." Because they had already spent $500 to $1,000 with me. I don't need them to spend more with my brand. I've made my LTV from them. But given how dedicated they were with us and how much they loved the brand, I knew they would be the best spokespeople for our community. So now over the course of 6 years, these 10 people that I initially found are still our 10 moderators. And they run the brand, and all they ask for is a couple of products a month. And I'll give them that for forever, and they work maybe 10, 20 hours sometimes on just our community.
Yeah, I think that's a great hack.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah, and it's a no-brainer as well, because they're a fan of your product. So just why not get a couple of your fans?
Yep.
Just work with you, align with you. I think that's a great idea. So there are a lot of, especially in collagen and also fat burner, there are, as you know, a lot of products out there.
There is.
And what's the difference? Because I'm not, I haven't done any research on this topic. What's the difference on, multiple products, different products? And some doctors say, as you know, some fat burners might be critical for health reasons, and that might be harmful for your health. So for anyone who's listening to us or who's interested in your products, what's the difference between different fat burners and different collagen products, and what to watch out for?
Yep.
Why do doctors say, some of them are harmful? Why is it harmful? Can it be harmful?
Yeah.
How do we have to use them, and what's
Yeah.
the difference of OBVI?
Yeah, it's really tough because the truth here is from when you get to a point where collagen, when it first started with like Vital Proteins, they had, pretty much dominated and monopolized the market initially. Then you start to see collagen becomes more readily available, right? And you start to see other people launch it and whatnot. The truth is as long as your collagen is bovine and it's coming from a hydrolyzed source, okay, you can assume that the collagen is good, okay? Now, given that collagen has been commoditized, there isn't that much difference from this collagen to the collagen next to it to the collagen after that, okay? What is important is what you're adding to the collagen to make it different, okay? So that's where we really stand out. Most of the collagens you buy, if you turn the label, it'll just say 10 grams of collagen, not maybe a little bit of vitamins or minerals. We hand selected things like hyaluronic acid, biotin, vitamin C, vitamin E, calcium, iron, magnesium, because these are things that are like little jet packs to the collagen to make it absorb better in your body. Now, those minerals and things I mentioned, they are expensive to add to the formula. So many collagens are like, you know what? I'm not going to add all this. You're taking the collagen, it should do good enough, okay? The thing is, your body only absorbs about 80% of the collagen you ingest, okay? Our collagen goes up to 92%, but it is also more expensive because it's better ingredients, etc. So what you need to look for is when you start to see products that offer the same stuff, you need to ask, why is one better than the other? And if you can't get a clear reason like this, it's tough. But overall, from a baseline of collagen, if you're using one collagen over another and they're both hydrolyzed bovine, you're not going to see a humongous difference because it's all coming from South America from one source. I don't know if that's helpful.
Yeah, so you decided we're not go for good enough. We're gonna go for the best.
Exactly.
And you decided to add all those vitamins and minerals. And how about fat burners? That's kind of like the trending topic right now. People started using more and more fat burners. When I was a teenager, this is 2 decades ago, but fat burners were highly dangerous, and doctors wouldn't recommend. And now I think there are more natural, fat burners, and it's a different situation. So, what's the story with fat burners? Are there truly still fat burners that can be harmful for your health, especially as they say for your heart? What to watch for, and how do you differentiate?
Yeah, there's 100% still harmful stuff out there. The what to watch for is how much caffeine is in it. Okay, a lot of people with fat burners, what fat burner really is it's a caffeine pill. Okay, and then they add some of these other additives to it that help it. But what really gets your metabolism and fat burning is when caffeine gets your heart rate up, and your heart rate helps process the fat burning, right? Like this isn't, none of it is like extreme science, right? It's kind of like when you drink coffee, there's a reason it's a natural diuretic. It's a reason that your heart rate goes up. Like there's things that a fat burner pill does that is just a form factor different from coffee, okay? Now, when it gets dangerous is when people pack in 200, 300 milligrams of caffeine, and people are like bouncing off the wall, and they're like, oh, I have so much energy. I'm losing weight because I'm not eating, because you don't even think about food when you have too much caffeine, right? The problem is if that's the only source of caffeine you're having in the day, great. But then you see people taking a fat burner and then an energy drink, coffee in the morning, right? and you're like, wow, you're reaching 1 gram of caffeine, right? And 1 gram of caffeine, that's going to start affecting your heart. So I think part of it is just like, you need to boil this down to, are you just looking for a shortcut, or are you looking for a supplementation? If you're looking for a shortcut, it's probably not going to last long or work well, and it's probably going to hurt you. But if you're looking
And
for
that's
it to
not
be
going to be healthy. Yeah.
exactly. But if you're looking at it from a format of, hey, this is what I want to do to help me get to the next level, or hey, I just need to get a little bit more energy to be able to power through my workout, or I need to be able to curb my appetite just a little bit more. Sure, fat burners are great and they work well, but we always preach to in our OBVI fat burner, this is not a magic pill. You will not lose 10 pounds overnight, and if you do, go to a doctor. We don't want people to think that's what it does.
Yeah, and that's the unhealthy. Yeah, I totally agree. And if it's a supplement, then it works. It's like it's kind of like this little supplement that helps you. And what about, so here in UK at least, keratin is a big thing now. How is that in US right now?
Yeah, keratin is big, and keratin's been something that's
And
been
what do you
found.
think about that?
Yeah, it's been naturally found in shampoo and conditioner, and it's mainly meant for hair products. I think keratin is good. The problem is it hasn't been clinically proven when you ingest it that it works. Naturally, in your mind, the truth is it should work, but not everything that you topically put can work when you ingest it. And so I think it's still early to know, but it is definitely a proven ingredient that works in certain ways.
Yeah, and there are still research being done.
Exactly.
Which that's not concluded probably. Yeah, and also you said you have the fat burner, you have the collagen, you have I think you have some meal replacements, or what were the other products?
Yeah, I mean we have a lot of other products, but our main other product is in our colostrum and our collagen greens and our collagen hydration.
Greens,
yeah. So those products also do really, really well. The main issue with a lot of these products is in terms of what's in the market, is everyone has come out with the version of the product that is the cheapest and the fastest to get to market. What we did is we added collagen to all of our products. So we don't believe you should just have hydration. You should have hydration and collagen. We don't believe you should just have greens. We think you should have collagen and greens. And our whole theory behind that is beauty is the cornerstone of what's going to make you feel good and look good, right? So why do we leave beauty behind when we're trying to solve other problems, right? And that's the thesis of what we're building.
Yeah. Hydration is also a big topic.
Huge.
David Beckham just released his. You probably know his powder, and it's just selling. It's not cheap.
Yep.
It's highly expensive. It comes with an amazing box, and very fancy and all that. And David himself spent a lot of time creating the whole box and the design. And there has there is a kind of like a booklet with his words and his signature. So that's kind of like the thing now in London. Everybody's after David Beckham's hydration powder, and hydration is, I think, one of the most important things when it comes to health, and not only fat burning but skin and health. So I fully agree. That's that like combination. And my next question will be, are you only in US, or have you started growing globally? What's the global growth strategy, and what's your overall growth strategy for the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, we're everywhere. We have sold till date in over 80 countries. But we actively sell, we market actually in over in Australia, New Zealand, UK, Canada, and Mexico. Those are our top territories. We use a tool called Open Border, which allows the ability to let customers see the final price, they're going to pay, including duties, taxes, VAT, and fees, all at the initial price point display, which is really helpful. So yeah, we're about 25% of our sales come from international. So we're pretty big on that. The tough part is we can't go everywhere. For example, we can't sell in India because in India they protect the cow, and selling anything hydrolyzed bovine is almost unheard of. You can't go to China because China doesn't allow you to market or run ads in some of their territories, and so then you have a problem with customer acquisition. We can't go to UK as aggressive as we like because they banned some of the ingredients from the US. So international can be even bigger, but it is tough.
Yeah, it is tough. And in general, consumer products are tough. I mean, because of the whole, I think marketing consumer products are very challenging. So how could you get to, because you sell obviously well, especially for the first 6 years, how did you nail down the marketing? What's your overall marketing strategy? Do you spend a lot on Facebook ads or, in social media? Do you work with influencers? What's the marketing strategy?
Yeah, good question. So we're doing a lot between Meta is our bread and butter. We spend anywhere between $25,000 to $30,000 a day on Meta ads. From there, number 2 is Amazon. And then of course, we're doing a lot on Google and AppLovin and a few other platforms, but digital presence is our number 1 thing. In the last 2 years, we've expanded into retail, and we've gone nationwide in like Walmart, Sprouts, H-E-B, and a few other key retailers. And we're seeing really good progress there. The only problem is you make far less margin, and you see the sales cycle be a lot longer. So it is a great business to be able to build, but it takes a long time. But online's been our biggest piece. It is what we do. We test, 50 to 70 creatives a week. We're spending a lot on Meta to learn how to keep acquiring customers. We do a lot of landing page tests and testing how people are buying, etc.
Yeah, so you probably have a great marketing team.
We do. Full on. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. And do you have any strategies on, you are in US market, in Walmart and many stores. Do you have a strategy like that internationally or never ever?
It's a good question. I would like to create a strategy. The problem is international buyers are very, very sporadic. They'll buy, when they buy a lot, but they don't buy often. And so it's tough to keep a cycled strategy because you don't know how they're going to make their decisions. You don't know what they're going to do to decide on certain things. So it's tougher to decide on that.
You probably would need marketing teams and sales teams abroad.
You do a lot of localized marketing.
Yeah, because like all countries, even cities, people act very differently. I've been selling consumer products as well, so it's like everywhere around the world. It's a whole different strategy, and it takes a lot to build. And in US, I know that especially in Meta ads and Amazon ads and generally ads, CAC, the customer acquisition costs are really high. Yes. Have you been able to drop them down?
It's a good question. Your strategy? I don't think there's any way to really look at it from dropping down or going up too much. The way we look at it, our mentality is different. Is the cost to acquire a customer is the cost to acquire a customer. Can we optimize and continue to try to bring that down? Sure, we're always going to do that. I think everyone should be doing that. But instead of getting fixated on how to bring it down, what we try and do is, if this is going to be the cost to acquire, what do I need to do to afford a customer like this, right? So we go and make our upsells and our AOV higher. We go and focus on making sure that our LTV and our product and our subscription does really well, so that even if you go from acquiring a customer for $30 to now $60, it shouldn't be like, oh man, my business is done. It's more so like, okay, at 60, I need people to be, the AOV needs to be at least 110. right? I need the
Yeah.
people to buy at least
Yeah.
one more order over LTV. So just, I
Yeah.
think that's how we think about it.
Yeah. Working on that strategy and probably focusing on decreasing churn rates. Yeah.
That's correct.
So how are your churn rates right now? Do many people, and my question would be, I'm also interested in this. When people see an ad, do they first decide to, because you have different marketing strategies, different sales strategies, different prices, do most people decide on buying the product and testing it out and
That's right.
then subscription? Or are there, like, what's the ratio over there? How many people, when they first see the ad, how many people decide on subscribing?
So we see, first of all, our churn rate is about 1 out of every 3 customers churn. So about 33%. And then our subscription
And
is,
that's usual. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty standard. But then our subscription is 1 out of every 5 people subscribe. So it's a little lower than we'd like. But also a lot of people want to try our product because there's flavors involved, and then there is results involved, right? Typically you subscribe for products that are more so, I need this no matter what, like your vitamins, or maybe like certain products that you use for making food, or maybe certain pet products. But when it comes to like, hey, I need to first try this product, right, and see if it works for me, that's why I think it's harder for us to get a larger subscription.
Yeah, and once the customers are in, I think you need different strategies to keep them in. And that's gonna be my last question. Of course you're building the community, but you probably have worked a great strategy on, once the customer tries the product, how do you keep them in and get them to buy the next one and the next one and maybe subscribe? You probably have mailing lists, you do promotions, and
yeah, it's a great question.
What do you do?
there's a ton you do, right? One, so we start at the bottom level, which is this is our community led effort. So like, what are we telling our community to remember to keep purchasing again, right? How are we training them? Number 2, we go into our email, SMS, and making sure, are we communicating with our customers, right? Enough to remind them. Then we go into our subscription platform and see, are all the triggers to remind people about staying on track working? Then we go into making sure that, when it comes to our communication on our website and landing pages and our app that we have, are we doing the right amount of push notification, right amount of messaging? And then lastly, we look at our influencers and we look at all of our spokespeople and making sure that they're spreading the right word consistently all the time, because a lot of people follow them as well. So it's a mixture of all the above.
Yeah. And what's the future look like product wise? Are you planning to produce a couple of new products, or are you done for now?
We're working on a few things. Number 1, we want to go much more into like the women's wellness. We're doing a few products around PMS relief, and perimenopause relief, and then premenopause relief. Just like women gearing up for their next stage of life, which is, like when they look at menopause and before menopause and post menopause, that sector of life feels like it's not, there's not enough there for women. So we're working on that. And then number 3, we're also working on the antacid category, where right now, if you need something for antacid, it's always Tums. And first of all, Tums isn't pregnancy safe. There's really not great flavors. It's very chalky. So we're working on a product to come and disrupt that market.
Brilliant. Yeah. Amazing. I enjoyed every moment of our conversation.
Oh no, likewise.
I'm a fan of consumer products and startups, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And one last thing, maybe for our entrepreneurs and founders who are listening, it takes, as you know, a lot of work, a lot of courage, and a lot of discipline to be a founder and to be a co-founder, to build a product and to keep on building your startup. Do you have any last maybe sentences for entrepreneurs and founders that are at pre-seed level, idea level, just maybe a couple of
Yeah.
sentences for them, what to watch out for.
Yeah, I think the one thing I will say, just mentality wise, like, especially if you're choosing to be an entrepreneur, this may ruffle some feathers, but there's no such thing as like work-life balance. I think there's only work-life like rhythm. So I think like balance is like kind of a lie. It's like it assumes everything
Yeah,
is like a static weight on a scale. But like founding a business, like everything is seasonal. There's cyclical elements. There's, some seasons you have to sprint, others you have to recover. And I think the trick is knowing like when do you need to communicate these things to your friends, family, your team, and yourself, and just knowing that this is who you're choosing to become. And I think, but at the same layer to that, the goal should not be burnout. Like a lot of people sometimes use burnout as a badge of honor. You don't want to get to that level either, but you also don't need to find this work-life balance, myth that I believe exists out there.
yeah.
So I think just find the right components that work for you.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. And that's why I sometimes see the startup journey and having a startup company as having a child. Sometimes they need more attention and you're
Exactly.
just fully focused on maybe he is sick or she is sick and you're fully focused on them for a couple of weeks. And then they go to school. You focus on maybe other things, you retreat a bit, and then they come home and you're fully focused on them. So it's kind of like this child that needs constant attention, and maybe
That's
sometimes you
right.
can retreat, but your whole idea of life has to be around that.
You
It's
nailed
like
it.
that should be your main focus if you wanna succeed, of course. Yeah.
No, I think really, really well said.
Yeah. Thank you. Lovely meeting you, and I
Pleasure
am
is all
looking
mine.
forward to meeting you in person as well.
Likewise. No, this is awesome. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me.
Yeah. Thank you, Ron. Take care. Thanks for
Take care,
everyone
Nefsa.
who's watching us on YouTube and also who's listening to Next Level Humanity. I'll see
Thank you,
you in the
guys.
next episode.